Well, hello everybody, Dave here. Another video. Excuse that spitting. Today is the anniversary of 9/11. So I've never done a video like this before, but I wanted to do a video today and remember 9/11. So before I start the video, I want people to think about one thing. Even though we ended up going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, 18 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi citizens. And Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, he was a Saudi citizen. I know people think that Saudi Arabia is our friend. They're not. Right now, they're cutting oil prices. I know everybody wants to blame Biden, ooh, blame Biden. And even if Trump was president, it's not the president's fault. It's the Saudis. They're cutting production because they want to make more money because they're building that stupid line thing out in the desert. But anyway, so 9/11. I'm 49 years old. On 9/11, I was 26 years old. I was in my prime. And at the time, I was dating a 20-year-old girl named Corey Loudermilk. Miss Loudermilk. I was so in love with her at the time. She was 20. She was in her prime too. So on that day, I was working at General Motors in Arlington, Texas. And I worked on the seat line. And I remember when that happened, somebody yelled down the line, "The United States is under attack." And I remember my first thought was, is it nuclear? So everybody, whoa, camera just fell over, craziness. So everybody just, I remember, ran away from the line, and we all ran out, because this was before like major cell phones and especially smartphones. So everybody ran out to their cars and started listening to the radio. And that's when we heard that it was, New York and Washington, D.C. had been hit by planes and stuff. So it was really confusing. So I remember our bosses were like yelling at us, come back in, come back in. So we all come back in, and we had a big meeting, and they told us because of the attacks, they were going to send us all home. So the first thing I did is once I left, I went and got my car, and I had a cell phone. Cell phones were around then. They just weren't like the way they are now. It was just like a basic, you could call and stuff, but there was no texting or anything like that. And there was no like Google and all that crap. So anyway, I called my dad. He was the first person I called, and he was at work, and he was leaving and going home, and he told me, my dad was a Vietnam veteran, so he's all telling me, go get gas in your car and get your guns and come over to my house. And I was like, Dad, I'm not going to do all that. I said, I'm going to call Corey and see what she's doing. So I called Corey, and she told me that she was being let off from work and that she was going to go home. And I was like, okay, I'll meet you at your apartment. So I called my dad back, and I said, hey, I'm going to go meet Corey at her apartment. And my dad was all like, no, you got to, blah, blah, get your guns, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Dad, I'm going to go to Corey's. So I ended up getting to Corey's house, and we started watching the news. And pretty much that whole afternoon, we just watched the news. And then as it started getting into the later afternoon and close to nighttime, we got hungry. So we decided to order Chinese food. So we ordered Chinese food and continued to watch the news. And then later that night, had some nice sex, and that was my 9/11. So for all the people that died, for me it was actually a good day. I got off of work early, ate Chinese food, and got to bang my 20-year-old girlfriend. That was really cool. So yeah, all these years later, 9/11. But remember, when you hear all the conspiracy theories, remember, it's the Saudis. They are not our friends. The oil prices are not controlled by the president. I don't care if it's a Republican president or a Democratic president. It's controlled by the Saudis. And in my opinion, the Saudis are our enemy, and the United States should bomb Saudi back to dirt and steal all their oil. This is David. So always, make sure you like and subscribe. Bye.